children! This is Miss Mimi. Welcome to my reading corner. Today we'll be reading the Biography of Jane Goodall by Maria Isabel Sanchez Vergara. Hope you enjoy the story.
Who is Dr. Jane Goodall? Let's find out together. She was born in 1934 in England. She is an explorer and scientist who loved animals and nature. She lived in the jungle observing animals most of her adult life. Jane has written many books about the natural world, and she traveled around the world telling everyone to be kind to nature and all the animals. Jane is now 90 years old. Here is a photo of her adventures. And here is a photo of her now. Let's begin her story. When Jane was a little girl, her father gave her a stuffed chimpanzee called Jubilee. She carried him wherever she went. Jane loved animals very much. She wanted to live in the jungle with wild chimpanzees, just like the heroes of her bedtime stories, Tarzan and Jane. At night, her mother read her their adventures. But Jane could not afford to go to university to study animals, so she would have to study them in her own way. She saved every penny she had until she could buy a boat ticket to Kenya in Africa. Do you know where Africa is? Let's check the map together. Africa is a very big continent. There are over 50 countries. Kenya, where Jane went, is one of those countries. It's located on the eastern coast, right here. Do you know how many people live in Kenya? Approximately 54 million people. Wow! When she arrived, Jane met a well-known scientist called Louis Leakey. He was looking for a chimpanzee researcher willing to study them in the wild. He thought that they could learn about humans by studying apes. It was the opportunity Jane had been waiting for. So Jane took another journey to the shores of Gombe in Tanzania. To start with, she couldn't see any chimpanzees, but she had a feeling that they were near and watching her. Let's take a break. Do you know where Tanzania is in Africa? Let's look at the map together. Tanzania is another country located in Africa. The two countries are neighbors and share a border. Here are some facts about Tanzania. Did you know this is where Serengeti National Park is located? There, you could find wild lions, elephants, buffaloes, leopards, and rhinos, and many other wildlife, including chimpanzees. Tanzania is also the home to the tallest mountain in Africa. Do you know its name? Yes, it's Kilimanjaro. Well done. She decided to sit quietly in the same spot, day after day. Finally, a small group of chimpanzees appeared and let her sit with them. Jane had been accepted into the family. Do you know what chimpanzees look like? They look like this. Here are facts about chimps I bet you didn't know. They love to eat bananas, but they also eat other food like nuts, seeds, leaves, and even insects. What is your favorite food? They are very smart and love to play games together. Instead of giving hugs or kisses like we do, chimpanzees like to groom their friends. They will gently scratch their friend's fur and clean it for them. This is how they say, "I like you." Chimps live in groups called troops, and they take care of each other like family do. Chimps are great acrobats in gymnastics. They are strong and can swing from tree branch to tree branch, up in the high trees. Instead of numbering them, as all other science did, Jane decided to give every chimpanzee a name. There was David Greybeard, Flo, Flint, Fifi, and Gigi, to name a few. By watching them carefully, she noticed that some chimps were kind, quiet, and generous, whilst others were bullies. It seems that humans and chimps were not so different after all. Then, Jane made another incredible discovery. Chimpanzees can make their own tools. This was something only humans were thought to do. What tools do you use? Maybe a spoon when you eat your cereal or yogurt, or a brush when you brush your hair. Chimps often use tools in their day-to-day life, like rocks and sticks to help them find food and to eat it. Jane's talent was quickly recognized by Cambridge University. Here, she studied for a doctorate in animal behavior. And it wasn't long before she wrote her first article for one of the most famous science magazines. Jane continued to study chimps in the Gombe for 40 years. But jungles were starting to disappear across Africa, which put all animals in danger. She knew she had to do something. Jane joined countless projects to protect nature. She was no longer just a courageous researcher, but also the most determined wildlife defender the world has ever seen. And the little girl who loved animals challenges us to be kind to nature, because if chimpanzees can live in harmony with their environment, we can too. The end. Please subscribe to my channel not to miss any new stories. Click the like button if you enjoyed today's reading. Thank you. Goodbye.